So I want to explain to you how I use sentence completion to discover my limiting belief. See, I used to have a huge problem going to sleep, especially after I brought on new clients, as I talked about in part one. And I would get so angry with myself because I didn't understand why can I not control my mind better and just go to sleep. I didn't understand why I was struggling so much with it. I felt like something was wrong with me. And around that time, I was reading a book about how to discover your limiting beliefs, as so it happens, and they were talking about sentence completion. And so this one particular night, I remember I said, look, I'm just going to try to figure this out. There's obviously some kind of objection that my emotional brain has to going to sleep. It doesn't feel like it's safe to go to sleep. So I did a sentence completion. I said, well, I can't go to sleep because, and it almost just slipped out, because I'll let them down and they'll hate me, right? And I knew that that was the true feeling, the true belief, because it surged inside of my body and I felt just a surge of anxiety saying, yeah, this is it. It felt like truth. You see, I discovered a little bit later on that this limiting belief was actually trying to help protect me, that not going to sleep was a way of protecting myself in a kind of strange way. See, my emotional brain actually said, you have to stay awake and think about all these different things that you're supposed to do for this coaching group, or else you might let them down and they'll hate you. So it was a higher priority for my emotional brain to stay awake and to deal with this threat, the potential threat of them hating me, than it was for me to go to sleep. Now, the irony of it is that, of course, the nights when I didn't get sleep, I ended up much more tired and I wasn't able to really fulfill on all the promises. I mean, we did still, but it made it much more difficult for me to sort of meet my own standards, so to speak. So the thing is that the emotional brain doesn't really follow all that logic, though. It's not super hyper rational in judging pros and cons in that sense. In my mind, it just saw a threat. It saw that threat and it was trying to keep me awake so that I could deal with the threat. And so luckily around that time too, I'd also learned some of the transformation techniques, the techniques that we use to dissolve and delete limiting beliefs. And I was very quickly able to just overcome that limiting belief in that very same night within about 10 or 15 minutes. So that's what I'll explain in the next step when we talk about finding an experience that mismatches or disproves your limiting belief.